Buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster ride of some tasteless humor, lots of heart, and radical truth with two scrappy chicks. Because adulting is hard, but we are thinking that laughing about it is just so much easier.
All right, this is going to be a quick one. I don't have much time left. That was the thing about Buzzsprout. We only got 6 hours of recording a month, so moving over to Captivate, we get unlimited time. They just charge by the downloads, and we would love to get more downloads. So please like, subscribe, share, download, listen. Okay, real quick. So it starts with the fight from last time. Masha and Galyna. I swear, it's a hot mess with those two. And Galyna's just like, don't come to these parties, you stupid whore. And, uh, you know, Masha was Galyna's friend. And both Steve and Masha got involved behind her back. Behind Galyna's back. And she just doesn't appreciate her coming parading at the party, and leaving. And Allie and Kacie feel like they have to be nice to her because she's Steve Sr.'s girlfriend, and they don't like her, but have no choice but to be nice. And I'm sorry, but Masha is a little instigator. I am not a fan. And she leaves, and everyone was happy she left. So then the next day, looks like they're all at a farm, and Kacie was a little upset with Cole that he'd rather go hunting than trick-or-treating with their daughter, and his thing is, I could see if she was, like, older, but she's 9 months old, which I can understand. Kids don't, 9 months, they don't understand. So, it's fun when they get older. So, I get it. Alright, so, Allie, Steve's new girlfriend, she's there, and she's, really fitting in with the family, and she kind of, looks like Steve's mom and dresses like her. And there's Steve and the brothers were shooting something. Looks like decoys. I don't know what they were putting in there. I thought maybe it was a potato. But yeah, they were having their fun, and they were talking about the upcoming cattle, selling their cattle, and that they really need to hit a certain mark to pay off loans and stuff. And yeah, the fun of business. And so then next we see Stephen and Allie are riding on a train, and apparently she's not tied to any kind of lease, so that has Steve churning in his head, like, I wonder if it's too soon to ask her to move in. And yes, slow down, Steve. And then Cole and Kacie are arguing on the way to the car to get the baby a change of clothes. And he calls her Kala, which was Steve's ex, and she's like, really? So the next day, Cole and Kacie have a talk, and they talk it out, and Cole asks her, are you pregnant? And she's like, no, why? He goes, because the last time you acted crazy like this, you were pregnant. So, interesting. I know, hormones raging. So, the boys, Cole, Jesse, Braden, and Jake, head to Iowa for the cattle auction. Masha calls Allie And she says, oh, she's cleaning out the house. Oh, there's stuff in the basement. I think you need to, want to come look at it, come get it. And it's Galyna stuff. And because the girls go there and they see it's Galyna stuff. And they're like, you should have called Galyna. And then um, they're talking to Masha about the whole situation. And Masha asks, well, when did she move in? And um, Masha claims she didn't know her and Steve were dating, and she said that Steve said that him and Galyna weren't sleeping together, and just bunch of bunch of crap coming out of her mouth, I should say, because both Kacie and Allie are not buying it, and Kacie said that Masha pretends to be dumb and not know things to play the victim. And I see that. And Kacie literally calls her a liar. And because Masha said, this was last year, at the table, Cole and Kacie heard this. Masha say she was afraid to go to the car wash grand opening. And they said, well, yeah, it's probably a good idea that you don't go. And she's like, I never said that. And Kacie is just like, she's not having it with Masha and her lies and her actions. And she said that she is delusional and that she believes her lies and that it affects all of them. And she said, they said to Masha, Galyna's always going to be in her life. That's just a fact. And then Masha does a, side interview that they're being so disrespectful. No, I think the girls were being what they should be. And then we go back to saying Masha said Galyna and Steve were never a couple. That she moved in and, Steve didn't want her and, she slept on the couch and, they never had sex, blah, 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 blah. And, Kacie, man, girl, love how you put Masha in her place. That was friggin' awesome. All right, back to the boys in Iowa. They're staying in a cabin in Iowa and they go to a place called Tipsy Turtle. And, meanwhile, we see Steve and Allie back at Steve's house in the hot tub. And damn, both of them are in good shape. And back to the boys. And I think it was Cole pulls up. Oh, Allie was married before, like for 6 months. And then Jesse said, yeah, Steve knew. And Jesse thinks Steve's moving too fast with Allie. And back to Steve and Allie in the hot tub, and Allie was going to move in a rental that her parents flipped. Her Nashville lease was up. She was supposed to move to New York. Something happened with that. And Steve's like, maybe you could stay a little bit. And and then Steve says he has a document of what he's looking for. So I paused it and read it. So I'll just give a couple things that was on there. 5'6", 5'8", blonde, athletic, eats good, body toned, having purpose in life, bullet points, confident, positive, hardworking, leader. And then he even had a daily schedule from 4 to 9 p.m. and incorporating, eventually having children and that getting the kids off to school. And pretty much while they're at school, Steve and his wife, whoever that may be, will be working together on the business and stuff and all that. And then they get the kids from school and then eat dinner and then put the kids to bed and then bedtime's 9. And I was just like, okay, interesting. It's like spreadsheets, he said. I've personally, I have not known somebody that had that, like male or female. So if any of you have, let me know. It's interesting. But yeah, you can pause it and read it. I watch it on Hulu. All right. So, anyway, Allie says she doesn't want to dive in with somebody until the next step. And she talks about her divorce and what happened, and, kind of upsetting. I guess she rushed too quick with this one, and then they realized they weren't, like, compatible, and still hurts. And so she's in limbo. She's not sure what she's going to do as far as, moving wise. Let me go back to the boys in Iowa, and they're going to go to the auction, and they're like wondering if Steve's coming, and they look at his location. Nope, Steve's not coming. He's still at home, and he's in the kitchen with Allie, and they're talking about well, his family, how they kind of get kickbacks, on online and stuff, being a, person in the public eye and that. And he's all in, and he's like, so what do you think of posting it on Insta? Should we go official? And she agrees, and they go official on Instagram with a picture, because Steve feels that there's no need for him to be in Iowa, that he said he's going to make his relationship a priority, and that's why he stayed back, and he felt like the guys could handle it, which they did. And then, of course, they see the hard launch come through, and they're just like, really? They weren't happy to see that. While they're there at the auction, he's home doing the hard launch, so they're a little upset with him. And the auction, have you ever been at an auction? They talk so fast, and I don't even understand any of what they say. So, yeah, be careful if you're at an auction. Don't, like, lift your hand up or anything, because you might end up buying something you didn't realize that you bought. All right, so the goal for the boys would to be selling. I'm trying to think how many cattle they had. Their goal was 500K, and they missed the mark. They only sold 238, and they only got about 446,000, so they're short. And Cole seemed a little upset because he was saying, like, okay, well, now what? Am I going to lose my house and stuff like that? And, that's horrible what they're going through. Granted, it's what their father did, but it's affecting all of them. And I really feel for them. And I guess we'll see next week, which will be Monday. They did previews, and Masha and Galyna again. So this should be interesting. What are they fighting about next? And it looks like the proposal is happening, Cole and Kacie. So at least something good is going to be coming out of that episode. So, all right. Well, I did it. I am under time. This is a quick recap because, pretty much it was about the auction and Steve and Allie. So, he has a type. Yeah, I guess the youngest brother doesn't have a girlfriend, and because they were kind of teasing him at the bar, oh, we'll find you a girlfriend. And he goes, this is in our hometown, because they were in Iowa. I think they're only 2 hours away from where they lived to go to this auction. So, all right, I'm going to end there, and probably not going to get around to it the rest of the weeks with moving over the podcast to another platform. So we will be back definitely next Tuesday. I'm not sure if the Valley is on Wednesday. I would think it is. But anyway, just in case it isn't, and it's not till next Tuesday, or if I don't get around to doing the Valley till, this weekend. Just wanted to wish everybody have a happy and safe 4th of July. Happy 250th birthday, America. And again, happy 4th of July from the two scrappy chicks.
We love our scrappy peeps. So thank you all for joining us and becoming part of our flock. So please like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't like us, unfortunately, yo mama. But if you do like us, we look forward to seeing you next time on Two Scrappy Chicks.